Call to the booth. Aqib Talib here. We finna give you some fantasy football game, and I'm gonna give you my best bets. Paul, drop that beat.
Harrison Sanford, Aqib Talib. Here's our Friday show for the remainder of the 2021 football season. Paul, our producer, and Aqib and I were all entered into a Survivor League. If we get it right, it's gonna be some change for us at the end of the day. I don't know how long we're gonna last. Every week we'll do our Survivor pick. Then we'll have a fantasy football discussion. Aqib will point out some running backs and great matchups, whether they're stars or they're just quote unquote average players. Should be a lot of fun. Make sure you come back every Friday to get your fantasy football and Survivor pick insight. So Wednesday, regular show. We talk about the NFL in general. Thursday, focus on the Broncos. Friday is fantasy football time. Let's get right to it. Survivor discussion, guys. The first thing we have to do is decide. So how a Survivor League all works. You pick a team that's going to win. As long as you get it right, you move to next week. It's hard though, because you want to survive to week 2, but there's some teams that you don't necessarily want to give away as of yet. Aqib, what do you think the strategy should be?
I'm still getting the hang of the Survivor League myself. You know what I'm saying? So correct me if I'm wrong. If we pick like the Ravens this week, we can't pick them next week, right?
They are gone.
You cannot.
All right. I see how it's going. So I don't know, man. I think the strategy just got to be just pick your best bet. You know what I'm saying? The best matchup, and once you lose that team, you lose them. So I don't know. It's you don't want to say too many teams, because then you're gonna be out the tournament, right, Paul?
Right. So I mean,
we got to play to win, baby.
Yeah, you got to play to win. You do want to have some strategy involved. It's also like you maybe want to stay away from road teams if you can. I mean, you want to avoid, like, the Chiefs are a 6-point favorite against the Browns. Like, so it's a big line, but they could lose that game, right? Browns could win that game outright. So, and plus you get to save the Chiefs. So a couple of the big lines out there that we could target. So we got the Niners laying 7.5 in Detroit. So on the surface,
Not a fan of that.
Yeah, and Aqib, you've talked about the Lions O-line. Like, do any of us see the Lions winning that game? Probably not.
Exactly. We got to see what they look like first, though. They might be running the ball good, or, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So we'll skip down a few. Bills -6.5 versus Steelers. Again, Bills should win that game, right? But it is kind of a tricky spot. I don't think that line should be anywhere near as high as 6.5. And then the last one, this one's just like, it's tricky. The Panthers -5.5. They're at home, but against the Jets, it's just like Zach Wilson could ball out. Like,
exactly.
Sam Darnold. Like, so are there any of those that appeal to you before we move on?
It got to be one of these 7 games or whatever.
Yeah. So the other ones, Rams -7.5 at home against the Bears, Ravens on the road in Vegas, Jags, on the road. It's the Texans, but
I might go with the Rams, man. I might take the Rams at home. I like them to win by 10 or more.
Yeah, I think that's the move. I think that's our play. I think we'll officially
we're using the Rams at a home game. You know what I'm saying?
Plus, they're in the NFC West. Like, they're gonna have a lot of tough games later. Like, can use them now. Let me bounce. Yeah, they're healthy. Exactly. Let me bounce this scenario off you, though. Bears are down like 10 at halftime. Justin Fields comes running out of the tunnel. It's like, oh no.
Nah, they ain't gonna do that to Justin. They ain't gonna do it to him. He's gonna have to sit this one out. Unless Dalton go down, Justin Fields gonna have to sit this one out.
I will say this though. So I've been in Survivor Leagues for a minute now. And when you use the obvious pick, like, I think the Rams are pretty good obvious pick. I think you keep pointing out the Broncos could be a pretty good obvious pick.
What happened?
Well, not necessarily obvious because they're on the road. But when you choose a team that you know is gonna win, it's always somebody else who picked like for example, somebody might have picked let's say they pick the Panthers to win, right? And they get it right. Well, that's a great pick because now they save the Rams for another week. So I feel like week 1 we got to survive in advance. So I'm down with I'm not going to throw any shade on the Rams pick. We got to survive in advance. So the Rams is the pick, but it's always gonna hurt. Yeah. It's gonna hurt when we want the Rams later in the season for sure.
But I look at it like you want the teams when they playing like lesser opponents, though, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So this might be one of the lesser opponents the Rams playing. Shit, it don't get too much easier.
Yeah, I think this is a spot for the Rams. The last thing I'll say is everyone was on the Colts last year. The Jaguars won one game in week 1. They knocked everyone out of the survivor pool.
Everybody.
It'd be tense. It'd be tense moments on Sundays when those games are coming to a wrap. All right, so the Rams are our pick for Survivor.
We going
League.
Rams. So we is going Rams, right?
Rams.
Let's go Rams.
We go Rams. Rams, don't let us down, please.
Locked in.
Goes. All right, before we get out of here, we're gonna look at some fantasy stars. A running back in a great matchup. Aqib, who you got?
Man, I got James Robinson going against, who is it? The Texans. Yep, I like James Robinson. Texans ain't stopped nobody from running the ball last year. I don't see how they're gonna do it this year.
Yeah, that Travis Etienne injury really put the ball back in James Robinson's hands. I know they were probably looking forward to seeing what he was going to do, but it looks like Trevor Lawrence in his first start, you have to imagine there's going to be a number of checkdowns as well. He's going to get busy as a runner and a catcher.
Definitely.
He was top. I think Leeb finished the year as a top 6-7 running back in fantasy football. All right, so now give me another running back. James Robinson was pretty much a star last year when it comes to fantasy football. Name somebody who's not really a star, but can have a star-like performance at the running back position.
I like Miles Sanders, man, out of Philly, playing against the Falcons. He ran the ball good. The run game was totally different when Jalen was in there. So Jalen starting it off, and I know they're gonna have some new wrinkles to their offense too. So man, I like Philly with that healthy O-line. I like them to run the ball good early in the season. Why they healthy, man? So they healthy right now. Like Miles Sanders.
You've been big on that offensive line all off season. It's going to be time for now.
Ready to see it.
To put some, ready. It's time to see it. All right. Quarterback in a great matchup. I feel like there's always guys who are going to play well. Your Lamar Jacksons, your Tom Brady's. But some guys are going to have even better matchups, and maybe you put some chips down on them in DFS. Who you got this week?
And I like Kyler Murray. He going against a young secondary in Tennessee. So, they got young corners out there everywhere, man. A bunch of young guys. They got a Jackrabbit out there now, too. So, I like them to throw the ball around, man, early in the season. Kyler Murray going to have a day. Hop, he love to have a day, first day. So, I like them to come out and throw the ball around. And then, a little sleeper, you might not really pay no attention to. I think Garoppolo going to have a day, man. He going against a semi-secondary as well in Detroit. So, he's sneaky. He quietly had great games, man, when he running the ball, play action, everything hitting. So San Fran healthy right now. They full speed, man. So I expect that offense to come out and look like a machine early as well.
Yep, you got Brandon Ayuk back. Obviously, George Kittle is there. People really like what they're seeing from Trey Sermon as a pass catcher out the backfield, as a running back, just in general. Could be some explosive opportunities there. Even though I will say this about Kyler Murray, as much as I'm excited to see what he can do, I could also see Derrick Henry just controlling the pace of the game, just ramming it down the field. So we'll see how it plays out.
They go so fast. The Cardinals go so fast. They don't get their plays in, man. They on the ball, hurry up offense. They in 2-minute mode. They gonna get their touches. They gonna control the game. Watch what I tell you.
All right, so this guy just got some big bag. Got a big bag in Baltimore. Mark Andrews, I know you love him against the Las Vegas Raiders, against another tight end, Darren Waller, who was a high fantasy football pick this past week for a lot of people in their fantasy drafts.
Definitely, Mark Andrews got the bag, man. He playing against the Raiders, but him and Waller, they kind of head to head. Everybody, when you playing against somebody who play your position and they supposed to be like that, you kind of playing against them too. So, he been getting all the reps, man. He getting all the reps with Lamar. Wideouts has been hurt. They've been down. So he's going to be a security blanket like usual, man. So he's going to throw it to him early, often in the red zone. He's going to have the targets. And, the Raiders secondary, they middle of the pack. They all right. So I expect them to run down the seam, man, and score some points.
Quick offside real quick. Are you expecting what are you expecting from Lamar Jackson this year, particularly as a passer?
I think this is going to be Lamar's best year. I think he the type of guy who, when he need to work on something, he work on it, man. So I know, they probably added some stuff to the playbook to really put the pressure on him to, all right, that's what we need to do to win. I know he going to work on it. So, man, they added a couple bodies out there, some vets. Got Sammy out there, man. He still got Hollywood on the other side. So, as long as they can run the ball, I think he's always going to do his thing with his legs. They're going to run the ball as a team good. That's going to open up the play action. I think he'll have his best year as a passer.
M&T Bank Stadium is probably going to go crazy this year when he does one of his runs where he jukes people out of their shoes. You know how Lamar Jackson does. All right, so we went through our fantasy football stars, predicted them for the weekend. We'll see how that plays out. We went through our survivor pick for the weekend. We'll see how that plays out. It better play out well. Paul, come back for us real quick and take us home as we look at some best bets. If you're putting down some chips to go into week one.
So my best bet is a team. I've flipped a coin during the summer. So I was down on the Steelers all summer, but I'm taking the Steelers plus 6.5 at the Bills this weekend. I think the Bills win the game. I just don't feel like the Steelers' weaknesses. I feel like it's actually a decent matchup for them. They got some new pieces on that O-line. The Bills don't rush the passer all that well. Bills, keep throwing the ball. Steelers are pretty well set up to defend against that. So I think the Bills win the game. But look, ideally, you get 7 to make it a full touchdown plus 7. But I'm still comfortable taking Steelers plus 6.5. I think it's more like a field goal game.
I like it. I think that's a good bet. I like that bet. I'm gonna go. My best bet. I'm gonna go Denver on the road minus 2.5. Man, lowest spread of the week. First of all, that's why I like it. All they got to do is go win by a field goal. I love that defense. No Saquon. I love that secondary going against Daniel Jones and them guys. So man, and I think Denver is going to run the ball a lot better than people going to expect at the beginning of the season. So I expect them to do like they did in the preseason and look kind of explosive early in the season. So I like Denver minus that 2.5.
I'm going to go with a little wild card here. While I do like the potential for Chris Herndon to get a touchdown reception at the tight end position for the Minnesota Vikings, I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals getting a win against the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh,
I think T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, we'll see if Jamar Chase is going to catch the ball, unlike what he did during the preseason. But at Minnesota,
he gonna have Pat P on him.
Well, that still leaves Tyler Boyd. That still leaves T. Higgins, and that also still leaves Joe Mixon as a pass catcher out the backfield. Crucial season for Zach Taylor. It's a home game. Joe Burrow's back. They're going to be lit, and maybe Joe Burrow makes up for LSU losing to UCLA after their coach was talking smash walking to this.
I don't hate that pick.
Going to the stadium.
Yeah, I just wish I knew more about what Burrow was going to be walking into the game. But in general, I like the idea behind the pick.
I ain't gonna lie. Thank you, Paul. That's more like a bold pick than like a bold bet than the best bet. Nah, I'm just
true.
No, I will say this though. It's not a best bet either. But
you're gonna fuck around and hit it. Look, and then you know what I'm saying. We're gonna be having this conversation again.
There you go. I do like Chris Herndon to get a touchdown at the tight end position though as well. That Bengals secondary or even the linebackers hasn't been the strongest unit. The defense in general hasn't been that strong, and they just got him after Irv Smith Jr. is down for the season. And I also like, before we get out of here, I also like my fantasy football team to get a dub in our league as well.
We'll see about that. Yeah. Let me tell you, I'm about to go play O-line for the Bears. So good luck with David Montgomery.
All right, guys. Enjoy this week of content. So let me just do one more review. On Wednesdays, we will look at the league in general. We'll break down A+ matchups. We'll get power rankings. You never know who might pull up as well. Thursdays, Broncos show. And then Friday, we will look at fantasy football, Survivor League picks. And Aqib and I, Paul, will all make our best bets. One of us is bound to be right, if not all. Tune in every week. We got you covered. Call to the booth. Aqib Talib, Harrison Sanford. Shout out to Paul Aspen. Shout out to Thomas in the background. Appreciate you, brother. We'll see you next time.